Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 18 of the Unoriginal Screenplay. I'm back with the boys for a Christmas end of year fun special. We've got some rankings, we've got some drafts, we've got some reviews, we've got a bit of everything that everyone loves. But first of all, how are we all doing? Kai, how are you doing, my friend?
I'm good, Josiah. How are you?
I'm always better when I'm speaking to you.
Oh,
Always a
stop
pleasure.
it, you. Stop it. Yeah, I'm good. It's Christmas in like 3 days, and I've never felt so un-Christmassy in my life. I'm just working loads. It's horrible. I've not had time to sit down and enjoy a Christmas movie yet. But your jumpers are making me happy, apart from yours, Josiah.
I'm
So it's
rocking the
fine.
Liverpool
Put
Christmas
it
jumper.
away. Put it away. No one wants to
My
see
jumper's
it.
very happy.
Yeah,
I
me and
like you.
Harvey, we're in the
You're looking
spirit.
like The Rock.
Ooh, yeah.
Jurassic Park.
I do like the Jurassic Park one. I was thinking of trying to find a Lord of the
It's
Rings one.
very cool.
No, I like my Liverpool
Very
one.
cool.
Connor, how are you doing?
I am pretty decent. Yeah, I missed you guys.
It's
Oh,
been a
I miss
couple weeks.
watching
It's sad.
movies.
Yeah.
I know.
Well, actually, I'll go to Harvey first. How are you, Harvey?
oh yeah. Thanks, Josiah.
Don't worry, just
mate.
yeah,
skip past.
I'm great. Thanks. Uni's done. That was my main priority for the last like 3 weeks. So yeah, feeling good. Just in time for Christmas.
Yes, all my uni submissions are done as well. I'm back home. I don't like London very much, so it's always nice when I'm back home. But yeah, sorry, Connor was saying he misses us, but we all saw each other than Kai fairly recently at the Geektok football
true.
tournament.
We did.
We missed you, Kai. We missed you. But congratulations, Harvey, for winning that. If anyone hasn't seen the videos, go to Henry Calvert's YouTube. The medals are very cool, if you can
That is
see.
So
so
cool.
cool.
I
Yeah,
know.
shout
It's
out
got
the oak
Yoda in
bloke.
goal.
Wow.
There's some
So
great
cool.
medals. But it was a very fun event. I've been very ill since, so I don't know what was in the air that day.
Yeah,
A lot of people got ill.
Geektok flu. It's a thing. Believe
Yeah,
it.
it
You were
was.
all out in the rain and the mud for like
yeah.
Yeah.
I
12
think it was
hours.
the.
That's
I think
probably
it was
it.
the mud.
Yeah.
I just want to say,
it was
kickoff was at
cold.
1, right? Kickoff was at 1.
Mm.
Me, Andrew, Joe, and Henry were out from 8 in the morning in the rain, setting it all up. I was done by the time it was ready. We were ready to play. There's
Yeah.
one, I think there's one on the live stream. You can see everyone's in their kits, and I'm wearing Brad's warm jumper because I'm just freezing to death with the earmuffs on. It was so cold, but it was a good event. We raised like over 4 grand for Kids Gate,
Yeah.
which was really cool. And hopefully we do it again. And I'm coming back for my vengeance. Connor's an
Sure.
amazing goalkeeper, and Harvey scored. So like it was a good time for everyone.
Against me, which doesn't make me look like that kind of a goalkeeper, but cheap goal.
Yeah, it's
Goal's
just a
a goal.
shame I couldn't show his ability because we all know he would have been the best player there. So
Oh, of course.
I was
Next
really
time,
excited.
I'll be
Golden
there.
Next
boot for
time,
Kai.
next time.
I was so
Golden.
excited to go. I would like to say to anyone that was wondering why I wasn't there, it was because of travel issues. Like there was so many train strikes and delays and stuff, and where I am in the country, I think I was probably the furthest away.
You were.
So yeah, it was gonna take me like 10 hours and cost me like 300 quid. So instead of that, I just donated that travel money to the Kidscape because that made more sense in my head than spending that instead.
See, guys, Kai doesn't hate charity. It was just an issue getting there. So he's a good man. He's a good man. But yeah, that was December 9th, so a little while ago. But since then,
Yeah.
watched a couple movies. December's been a good month for films, but this year has been an interesting year for movies, with strikes and us not watching loads. I'm sure we'll have different lists. So we're gonna give you some top fives and bottom fives of the year, starting with the worst because why not? Always look up, right? So we'll start at the bottom.
Mhm.
I don't know if you guys, I assume you have lists somewhere,
Yeah.
I'm going off
but
my Letterboxd 2023
Same.
ranking, but
yeah,
Yeah.
I would
I
like to
haven't updated
say
mine since July.
I was going to say mine hasn't been updated for a while, and I'm looking at it and thoroughly disagree with my top five, so I might be changing things around while I'm going.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't
just before
think
we
my
start
bottom
that,
five has
do you
changed.
guys want to know a funny story that
Oh yeah,
about me
Yeah.
from a couple of weeks ago? So do you know how
I'd
much I
love to.
hate Avatar?
yeah.
The movie Avatar. Can't stand it. James Cameron's Avatar, the worst, like most overrated movie I think ever existed. And then last year, do you remember the Way of Water come out? And I was still like very much this is a mid movie and a mid series, and I don't know what's going on. Can't stand that movie. I got incredibly hammered a couple weeks ago,
Oh no.
like possibly one of the most drunk I've been. And I decided on this day when I was out that there was a new Avatar game that had been released.
Oh, no, you didn't.
And I stupidly in my drunk state went, this looks fun. And I spent £70 on an Avatar game, which I'm going to be honest, I've played 3 times maybe, and then remembered why I hate Avatar again and I haven't played since. That I'm only saying that because I'm pretty sure Avatar was in one of my bottom movies of the year last year, which kind of seems relevant in this. But yeah, I had a bit of a stinker. I think that alone sums up 2023 in movies for me.
Yeah, a game from the year sums up his movie watching, but
Yeah.
it's a good story. Oh, I'll buy it off you. No, I've seen some people play it, but
It is quite fun. It's just Far Cry, but in Avatar. But
Yeah.
obviously, I hate Avatar, so there's literally no reason for me to have got this game.
Well, we'll start with our 5th worst of the year. Would anyone like to take it away? Okay, I'll take it away. We are starting. My 5th worst of the year is a movie called Unwelcome. I believe Connor's. Have you watched it as well, Harvey? Yeah.
Yes, I have. Yeah.
Um,
Right at the start of the year.
Yeah, I think it was a January watch, maybe.
Pretty much. Yeah.
When did I watch it? January 24th, yes. And my review was Silly Billy, because I remember that was a line from the film. But it's a horror movie, and me and horrors don't really click. And I know this has been a fairly good year for horror, or I think most people seem to think that. But Unwelcome is near the bottom. It has Hannah John Carmen, who is Ghost in the Ant-Man film. She was the lead.
Mhm.
But it was just a very
yeah.
weird. I think it's an Irish movie, but it was it was just a weird horror film with these little gremlin Dobby looking things. Very forgettable.
Yeah.
And I just look at my list, it's in the bottom 5, but I can't remember much.
That's also my
to put
number
it.
5.
Is it?
Yeah.
So your number
Well, there we go,
5.
that's perfect.
Yeah, that's also my number 5 spot.
Well, I've got a bit
Shout
of
out
a different
Chris
movie in my
Lolly,
number
though.
5 if I'm ready to go.
Yeah, let's hear
I've
it.
got Ghosted in my number 5 slot.
That's my number 4.
That's my
A
6.
film-
It just missed
A
out.
film which we have reviewed previously on one of the episodes this year. What a dreadful movie. Like, how have they messed that one up? They have 2 insane lead characters and they've fumbled it. It was just I can't even really remember what happened in the story. I think Ryan Reynolds showed up at one point, but I'm not sure.
He did.
Yeah,
And the
that's
Falcon.
all I remember.
Well, Captain
Yeah.
America, I guess now.
Yeah. Like, awful movie. Don't watch it.
One thing I did really find funny now, though, is that Chris Evans' sister is in Gen V, the girl who shrinks in Gen V. I don't know if anyone's seen Gen V.
She's the sister?
Yeah,
Really?
Oh my, I did not notice that.
the one who makes like the dodgy incest joke at the end.
Oh, dear.
But yeah, that's my 6th. It was very close. But you're right, big leads. It could have been bad. Kai, what's your?
I'm gonna switch mine up. I did have Ghosted at 5th, but I'm gonna switch mine up just so I'm not copying you. 65 with Adam Driver. What a
Yeah.
stinky movie! Oh my god, kind of similar to Ghosted. Great
Just
lead
nothing.
actor, and a really good premise. Like for a movie, that's really cool. And they completely fumbled it. And yeah, just a massive disappointment. Was really excited for that movie, and I think my review for Letterboxd for that was Adam Driver gave me the ick in this movie, which is it seems impossible, you know. Adam Driver, what a guy,
Yeah.
and he was not great.
I think my review was something like, this movie would have been so much better if it was Kylo Ren instead.
Yeah,
Something like that.
just a side mission for Kylo Ren.
Yeah. But genuinely, the trailer looked good. The premise was like dinosaur sci-fi, Adam Driver, even Ariana Greenblatt, who's had like a really good year with Barbie and Ahsoka. But
Is that her?
yeah,
Yeah.
that's
She's
her.
the girl.
What?
Yeah, who doesn't speak English in it.
No, that's her.
Yeah,
Oh my,
Oh my
there
God.
we go. The cost for that is ridiculous. Oh my
she's
god,
had a
it
really
is.
good year. But 65 is her like role you don't want to remember.
Wow. Yeah, good for her. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
terrible
she's made a
movie.
lot of money this year, so good for her.
Yeah, I bet.
Okay, 4th worst for me is the one with arguably one of the best supporting actor roles of the year. It's At Midnight with Soups. It's rough. It is rough. Monica, what's her name? Barbaro, the girl from Top Gun Maverick. She's the lead in it.
Yeah, I know who you
Tom
mean. I know who you
Cruise.
mean. Yeah.
Not the girl.
Tom Cruise.
Yes, Tom Cruise. But
I know who
that
you're
was,
talking about. Monica
yeah,
Barbaro. Yeah.
yeah. I think people genuinely only watched that movie because Soups was hyping it up that he was in it for him to have a
Pretty much.
5 second cameo where he's not even there in person, it's him on a video. But fair play, he got his credits. But again, I hate poor writing in romance films because I've really been invested in my romance this year. And it's one of the worst written romance films I've ever seen. So yeah, don't watch. But the chemistry between our leads is okay. And extra points for Soups. Let's go. Right. Connor, what have you got fourth bottom?
Well, my number 4 spot is Ghosted, but I'll do what Kai did and I'll swap one around so then I'm not copying everyone else. But my number 6 spot, which is now number 4, is Murder Mystery 2,
Ooh.
which I don't like Adam Sandler as it is, so it's obvious why that's so low. But I remember rewatching the first one like the day before this one and finding out that I had already seen the first one and completely forgotten about it, which says a great thing about the first one. And then the second one is arguably worse than the
It
first.
is worse.
Oh, dear.
Like it's just more lazy, stupid, and I actually don't remember the story of it. I remember the first one better than the second one. I have no clue what they did in the second film at all.
It's just set in France, right? Like I remember there's an Eiffel Tower shootout.
Oh yeah,
Was that not
yeah.
Ghosted?
No, Ghosted is also got a shootout in a
Yeah.
building very similar to the Eiffel Tower, I think.
Yeah.
They have the spinny restaurant in Ghosted.
Oh yeah, that wasn't the Eiffel Tower, was it? I don't know why I thought it was the Eiffel Tower. They go everywhere in that movie.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, Murder Mystery 2 is rough, but I kind of like Adam Sandler and Jennifer Aniston together, so it's
Fair
not
enough.
bottom 5. But I think it's 94th for me out of 108, so not great still.
Jesus.
How
Yeah.
have you watched 108 movies this year? I've watched
Well, I've seen
56.
110, but 2 of them are coming out next year now, so I've already started my 2024 ranking.
Oh my goodness.
But okay, Harvey, what's your fourth worst movie of the year?
Well, my fourth is also 65, so I'll keep it short and sweet and just read out my my review for it. And I put perfect film if you have short-term memory loss. That's it.
Yeah, very forgettable. Kai, what have you got?
My fourth pick is Netflix original, not the last one to come up on this list, I'm sure. Luther, the Fallen Sun.
Ooh.
Awful movie.
I've heard terrible things.
Yeah, so I've never watched Luther, the TV series, but I've heard great things about
great.
that. But I ended up watching this. I can't even remember why I watched this. I don't know why I would have chosen. I imagine I was forced to change to a chair. It's essentially just a really bad James Bond movie. And it made me go, I don't want Idris Elba ever playing James Bond, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was. I honestly I couldn't tell you what happens in it. I don't remember a lot of it. It was just really ridiculous and yeah, not ideal. And then I think the people I spoke to who have watched the Luther series also hated the movie. So
Sounds
Good
rough.
quality film there.
Yeah, not a great year for Netflix because my third worst is Heart of Stone. I don't know if anyone else watched Heart of Stone.
no.
No.
I think I got invited to an event for that. Was that the one with
Same, I
Gal
didn't
Gadot
go
in?
though.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, I didn't go to that.
I did. The event was good, but the film was not good at all. It was like a bad attempt at Dead Reckoning, and having seen Dead Reckoning like a little bit before it, a couple weeks before it, it made this even worse. The AI story has been done so poorly by Dead Reckoning this year. I don't think they did it well in Creator either. But I like Gal Gadot, but she's not a good actress. She's just not good. And it's a shame. Like she fits the Wonder Woman role well, but I just don't like her in anything else. So Gal Gadot is I wouldn't have her as a leading star in an action film again now that the DCU's done as well. But there's one really, really great moment that gives it a 1 star from a half star. So I don't know.
What
I don't want
is
to
that
spoil
moment?
it.
Go on.
Well,
Spoil it. What? None of us are gonna watch it.
there's genuinely a really good plot twist, and they do it at a decent moment in the film. There's this good guy, you think he's good the whole time. I wasn't really suspicious, and then he just killed everyone on his team, and it was very well done. It was impressive stuff. But yeah, 1 star still.
Fair.
Nice.
Connor, what have you got?
I have Die Hard the movie, which apparently is a TV show, and I didn't realize that it was a
Really?
TV show. I think I don't know. That might not be true, but I'm pretty sure it is. I don't remember why I watched this, but I remember me and Brandon both watching it and laughing at how bad Kevin Hart is in it. For some reason, there's John Travolta as well, and he has no hair at all. But he basically wants to be like an action hero, but it's awful. It's like I don't know how to explain the film because it's just straight up bad. The other people who have watched it know I'm the highest who's rated it, and it's in my bottom 5 of the
What have you
year.
given it?
I gave it 1.5.
Oh,
And
generous.
We've got Luke, Epix, and my brother all gave it 1 star, and then Andrew gave it half a star. So that shows the quality of the film. Yeah, it wasn't great.
Is it like Die Hard at all?
No, it's not. It's not at all. I think that's just the name because it's like an action film and it's like Kevin Hart, you know.
Yeah.
When Epix
Awful.
gives it a low score, you know it's bad, by the way. Like, he's the way I tell whether a movie's good or not at this point. Like, he's watched everything.
Yeah, he watches a lot. Harvey, what have you got?
Well,
list?
unfortunately, the two, I'll say it now, my third and second worst have already both been said, being At Midnight in third and Unwelcome in second spot. So, yeah, just awful movies. The Soups cameo was great, which is the only reason why At Midnight is above Unwelcome. But yeah, there we go.
If Unwelcome had a Suits cameo, it would have been up. But
top 5 for me. If it
yeah,
did.
easy. Ty, what have you got in your bottom 3? I'm excited for this.
I have kind of suitable M3 gun.
Really?
Megan,
Ah.
yeah. Now I'm looking at it, I feel
stars.
like this could have maybe been like 5th bottom. Like I definitely would rather watch Megan, I think, out of my entire bottom 5. Yeah, I think I watched it quite late. Like everyone else saw it in the cinema and I didn't. And when I finally watched it, it had been like really hyped up and like obviously was a massive meme for a while. So I was kind of looking forward to watching it. But yeah, I didn't enjoy it too much. I liked the way they did Megan, like how she was a robot, but also like someone dressed up as her. But yeah, not for me. I can't say I'm looking forward to M2gun, which I think comes out next year at some point. But yeah, didn't like Megan.
One thing, did I hear Connor say he gave it a 4 stars?
Yeah,
I
heard
gave
the
it 4
exact
stars.
I just chose to ignore that.
Yeah,
What?
same.
I gave it 4 stars.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. I watched it twice. The first
Oh,
time I gave it 3.5, then the second time I gave it 4.
You've
got
got it
better
on the
rewatch.
same rating I've got Oppenheimer.
We'll get to that.
It's on the same rating I have Oppenheimer.
I was like,
Yeah.
Well, that's the end of us then, isn't it?
this man has the most followers on TikTok out of all of us.
I gave Megan a 2.5. If anyone cares,
I gave it
It's
2.
great.
2.5.
it's my 75th
It
of
has
the
the
year.
same rating as Trolls Band Together. Sorry, I have to point that out. Trolls Band Together has got 4 stars.
Trolls Band Together
Did you
and
not watch
Oppenheimer
any
are the same
movies this
rating.
year?
I did. I love Trolls Band Together. It's so good.
Connor,
It
the
is.
only good
I'm
thing
ready
about
for our
that
top
movie is the
5.
songs. The entire everything else in that movie is awful, apart from the
No,
songs.
it was so good. I was having such a good time watching that film.
Oh man, I need to watch it. Okay, well, I'll give you my second worst of the year, which I'm sure will pop up again, even though we're down to the bottom 2s. Skinamarink
Yeah,
is my second
my
worst
second as
movie
well.
of the year. And it maybe would have been an effective 10-minute short, but to make somebody sit through like 100 minutes of that should not be allowed. And like my stupid little brain fell asleep and thought I might have missed something and went back 20 minutes and watched it. It was such a difficult watch. Like I get the idea, the nightmarish feel of it, and I understand the creativity, but looking at furniture for the like 97th time in 20 minutes, it doesn't do anything for me.
Yeah.
I didn't find it scary, and I hate when people say that about horrors, but I truly didn't. The jump scares weren't that effective because I was just so out of it. So not for me. If you like this movie, look, fair play to you. You have better mental strength than I do, but you're also wrong. But yeah, Skinamarink, second worst of the year.
Mine's the same. So there's nothing more I can add because there is nothing in that film. I get more enjoyment. Like if you can realistically just stand in your room and just stare at random objects for like an hour and a half to like nearly 2 hours and have enjoyment out of that, then go and watch this movie. But I don't think anyone with a sane mind can get enjoyment out of doing that. Like as Josiah said, I get the horror aspect, but that is practically what it is.
Yeah. It's more
Yeah.
setting the scene of when you're a kid and it's
Yeah.
nighttime. But
Yeah.
once you get past 10 minutes, the effect's gone. There's nothing after that. So yeah, not very good. Harvey, you already said yours was unwelcome.
I've done my second, unwelcome.
Yeah.
Again.
So Kai,
yeah.
what is your second worst of the year?
Netflix original The Strays.
Oh,
You
me.
watched the Oh man.
I
Wow.
don't remember anything about it. I'm going to be honest with you guys.
I remember some guy ordered his entire order was like prawn cocktail crisps or whatever they
Oh
was from
God,
like a
yeah, that was weird,
Chinese.
wasn't it? Yeah,
Yeah.
Good crisp.
He got prawn crackers and egg fried rice. That was his order.
that was
from a
his Chinese order. Yeah,
Yeah, that's the only thing I
Psychopath.
remember about that film.
That's why it's so low down for me. But yeah, don't remember anything about it.
We should do a takeaway tier list since our crisp one went so well.
I forgot we did that as well. Block that one.
That was infuriating. That was
The
the worst
best list
ever.
we've ever done. We peaked at that point, and it's just been downhill since.
Man, I miss Flaming Hot. Okay, worst movie of the year. This is big. This is big
Okay,
for all of us. I wonder if they're different.
I
My
have a
worst
feeling
of
we
the
all
year-
have different ones, by the way.
I think we all have different ones.
Same.
I don't know if did any of you guys watch it? Anyway, The Exorcist Believer is the worst movie of the year for me. Quite comfortably the worst as well. I despise it. And I don't like horrors, so I wouldn't have really gone to watch this if it wasn't at Blumfest. But it was boring. The plot was awful. The exorcism scene is like for a film called The Exorcist, you expect at least one thing to be good, and that's the exorcism scene. And it is so bad. It's my least favorite scene of the year. It is done so poorly.
Wow.
I've not even seen the first Exorcist, but obviously, like, this is a legacy film. They bring back the original girl from the first one. They absolutely ruin her. I've not even seen the first one. I know they ruin her. I want to block that movie out of my memory. It's actually infuriating how bad it is. But if you've not seen Exorcist Believer, keep it that way. We'll go with that. Connor, your reaction though when I said Exorcist Believer, what was that
Brandon,
about?
I haven't seen it. Brandon mentions it every now and then as like one of them random horror films. And when I made my the other day I made an edit which is like, oh, 2023 is, the bloody
Yeah, I was
talk
good
to
at
me
it.
trend they did. I did that, and the first one was horror, and Brandon said I should include The Exorcist Believer, and I just was not a chance I was going to include it. But my worst film I watched this year is Bullet Train Down.
Yes.
It's an awful rip-off of Bullet Train from last year. I honestly don't ask why I watched it because I don't know. But it's bad. It's like it's one of them films that's bad, but it's quite funny to watch. But it's just bad. It's made bad, written bad. It's just awful. I enjoyed watching it though, but it was just crap. That's all I can say.
Is that a half star for you?
It is. I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, half a star.
Respect. Harvey,
Skinner also half a star.
So my worst film of the year hasn't been mentioned yet. It is a film which I want to scratch from my
I know
eyes.
what it is.
It was that bad. Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey is my worst film of the year. It is as bad as you can imagine. So again, it's a horror, and as Josiah said earlier, horrors for him aren't great. This also wasn't great for me, but it's almost to the point where it's just not good. There's nothing about it that's good. The whole concept of this film is that it just relies upon the fact that it is the character of Winnie the Pooh doing all of the murdering and killing. When there's no plot. It's just him going around killing people. There's nothing to it, and they've set up a sequel. And I'm not going to watch it. I probably will watch it.
You should
I'm
watch
not
it.
going to watch it. It's just awful, and I don't understand how they could create something so bad. I think it's impossible, but there we go.
I was looking at the lowest rated films ever on Letterboxd, and it's in the bottom 10. So the only reason I'd watch it would be to rank the 10 worst films ever. But yeah,
Honestly,
doesn't
don't
look good.
waste your time. It's an hour and a half I will never get back.
It sounds like a good time. Kai, what's your worst of the year?
My worst of the year is actually the worst movie of 2023, and I've only seen 36 of the new releases this year, but I guarantee you this one is it. Um, my least favorite movie of the year by quite a long way. Like I despise this movie. I'm kind of shaking thinking about it. It's The Flash. Oh
Wow.
my God, that movie has
Ooh.
every single thing I hate about superhero movies, and it's just there. It's all just been crammed into like a pile of shit and then put on the big screen. And yeah, I honestly not only like least favorite movie of the year, I think probably my least favorite superhero movie, least favorite movie starring Michael Keaton, least favorite Batman movie, like terrible, so bad CGI, poor script. They've literally like shit on Michael Keaton's Batman. Like the way he's introduced, like that's how you're going to bring back a legacy Batman character. Ezra Miller, for some reason, wasn't fired from that movie after God knows what else they got up to in the real world. Babies in Microwave, what's that about?
That was bad.
And I see people talk about it, and I get some people say, like, "Oh, this is severely underrated," and it's like, yeah, if you're like a deaf, blind, sick in the head person, yeah, maybe this is a good movie. I can't stand it. I despise it. And I hope I never have to set eyes on it again. And I'm glad the DCU is dead, just so we never have to get a sequel to whatever that was. Awful movie. Awful.
I had the
Well,
worst viewing of it. I just want to point that out. I had
Oh,
the
yeah.
worst
Did you just
viewing
watch
of
the
it.
movie? Did you just watch the
No,
movie?
well, yeah, obviously, but me and Josiah went to the special screening thing at the BFI IMAX. Josiah had great seats. I
did.
sat front row in the biggest screen in London. I sat front row, so I was like the whole screen was just like stretched in like awful resolution. It was the worst screening I've ever had. I was like watching it like breaking my neck. Horrible. It was
I
horrible.
think Connor's downplaying it. It's the biggest screen in Europe, the BFI
Is
IMAX.
it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, Jesus.
And I was worried you were going to miss the movie because like I'd been there for like 30 minutes and you hadn't turned up. And I was like, he's not going to make it. And you made it just before and there was only room at the front.
Yeah, it's
So
horrible.
I did feel bad. But honestly, even though I had a good view, that actually might have made it worse because I could see every flaw in all its glory. Like the CGI was that bad and the visual effects were that bad. You could like pick out every single moment. And
Like the scene where they get all the old heroes back.
Yeah, really
like,
bad.
what is that? Like Christopher Reeve's Superman. Like, it doesn't even look good. It's
Yeah.
terrible. It's
Well, people are
horrible.
claiming that sort of stuff was like actually AI and not actually like CGI. So
It makes sense.
It's an
Like, it
interesting
looks
stuff,
horrific. It's like
Yeah, so-
I think the only good thing about that movie is that one scene with the Flash and his mum in the shop. That's the only good thing about
Towards
that
the
movie.
end.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
the only good thing.
Supergirl's quite good.
No, she's shit.
I
What
like
does she do?
Sasha
She
Calle.
doesn't.
No,
No,
I
she
like
doesn't.
her.
She's. What does she like? Sure, the actress is. I'm sure she's a lovely person, but like, what does Supergirl do in this movie? She has no character to her. She's just like, "Ugh, I'm stoic for no reason. Like, just like nothing good. Nothing good. I think I've got it at half a star.
Ooh, rough.
It's terrible.
Rough for the Flash
So
fans.
bad.
Sorry, Flash fans. I don't really like the movie either, to be honest. It wouldn't be that low, but I think I got it
For
2
Flash
and a half.
fans.
No, there's some out there. I mean, the build-up was just people saying it was the best thing ever, and then people actually watched the
James
movie.
Gunn. Tom Cruise
Well,
said it.
yeah,
Tom Cruise.
Stephen King. It was not great.
Soups. Yeah.
Oh, everything's the best for him, isn't it? At midnight, what a film. But let's go on a positive note, guys. Come on, we've been a bit down there, but this year hasn't been all bad, has it? We've got some good movies.
No, there's been
So
some
it's-
good stuff.
It's time for our top 5 of the year. This will
Mine's a
be a bit
shambles.
better. Yeah,
Mine's
yours
a
will be fun.
shambles.
I don't
Um,
have a top 5.
Okay, I'll start then because I've got my list.
Okay.
Five is really tough for me. The 2 just missing out is Godzilla -1 and John Wick 4. They're just missing out, John Wick 4 especially. But my 5th place is Killers of the Flower Moon. I think I'm the only one who's finished that movie, so
Yeah.
this will be fun. But I think
Sell it.
Seeing
I
it,
wanna
Yeah,
watch
go
it,
on.
send it to me.
I actually want to watch it, so you better like make it good. Tell me that it's good.
you guys should have watched it when you could have on the big screen because I got to watch it in cinemas on a big screen, a Scorsese epic. That's enough right there, right? With Leo leading, De Niro, Lily Gladstone probably gives my favorite actress performance of the year. It's quite a subtle one, and like she really excels in her silent scenes. Um, but a really important film for Indigenous people. The Osage story isn't really portrayed or told or spoke about enough. So I think this is a really important film. And as well as like the stellar acting and the ridiculous cinematography and great direction that Marty always seems to provide, the film is a spectacle. Like you're in awe. I was genuinely in awe the whole time. I didn't want it to stop. And obviously people's complaints was 3 hours, and I think well, is it how long is it? Three and a
So
half
it-
Three
hours,
and a
something like
half, I
that.
think.
Yeah, it's 3 hours and 26 minutes. It's justified though.
Yeah, and I think that's a film I'd probably struggle with more watching it at home. But when you're just indulged in nothing matters when you're in that cinema room. I think Kills the Flower Moon was perfect for the big screen. Um, so yeah, definitely one of my favorites. I think Lily Gladstone could win the Oscar. Again, I've not seen Poor Things yet, so I don't know about Emma Stone. Um, but Lily Gladstone would be my number one. But yeah, Kills the Flower Moon, great film. You guys, I'm sure will watch it before the Oscars.
I've done a blasphemous thing of watching it in pieces because I am watching it from home, so I've got about an hour left of my
Yeah.
viewing of it. I think I would like to sit down and actually watch it all in one go at some point, just to like actually experience it that way. But I am really enjoying it from what I've seen so far. It will definitely be in my probably my top five, I imagine. Like it is a really good movie.
Martin Scorsese's TikToks are quite good.
And Letterboxd posted my Killers of the Flower Moon review on their Instagram, so that was
You
my
did, I saw
that
that.
was my
That's
claim
very
to
cool.
fame. Then I just call that they actually edited it because I started my review with for all the crybabies complaining about the runtime. This could have been 3 hours longer, and I'd still be glued to the screen. They cut out the crybabies bit when they posted it, but yeah, great film. Connor, what is your number 5 of the year?
But I don't. My top five hasn't been updated, or my top list hasn't been updated since like July. So I'm gonna go a bit rogue here, and try and remember the films I've watched. But from what I remember, I would probably say John Wick 4 is currently sitting in my number 5 spot.
Nice, nice.
It's because I watched all of the John Wick films before it, and this is without a doubt the best one out of the four. It's got the longest runtime, but it really works for the film. It's very like action heavy, very captivating. There's no moments where you kind of get bored, but there is the sort of like there is time where the movie kind of does slow down in pacing. It's not just action after action where like there's no story. There is like a lot happens in it. I really enjoyed it. And I rated it 5 stars when I watched it, and I haven't rewatched it since. I think I probably should rewatch it. But I think if I was to rewatch it, I'd probably put it down in rating. I don't think I would keep it at 5 stars.
Hmm.
I think that was like an initial love for the film. It went to 5.
Yeah, have you got quite a few 5 stars this year then?
I've got, I think 4,
Okay,
3
wow.
or 4.
I've only got 2.
I went.
Harvey, then what have you got in your number 5 spot?
Okay, my number 5 is Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1.
Ooh, nice.
Because again, I feel like it's suffering from the same as Connor and Kai. My list isn't very updated with modern stuff because I haven't really been watching too much stuff at the later portion of this year. But I really did like that film. I think it's probably the most stressed I've ever been watching a movie in the cinema. Like I was sweating with stress. I don't know how they managed it, but it was really good. I thought, like, as I think you said it earlier, the AI subplot or the sort of like story they had around that was probably one of the better ones that's been made surrounding that. And it actually it felt like there was like some sort of emotional weight behind the entire film because of that. And it just looked great. Like some of the stunts they were doing in that, obviously there's the one where he jumps off on the motorbike. You've seen it 1,000 times in all their marketing. It's just so good. And I'd watched all of the Mission Impossibles leading up to that, which was quite a big task. But I really did enjoy them. And that was I didn't get to review it either because that was just when the strikes hit. I'd watched all of the Mission Impossibles, then the strikes hit, and I couldn't review the final movie that I'd actually spent all the time watching for. But now I can. It's really good. I gave it 4.5 stars. I really, really enjoyed it. Solid movie.
Is it your favorite Mission Impossible?
I can't remember if I ranked them or not. I'll have a look, but it's definitely up there.
Like off the top of my head, Fallout is still my favorite, but that reckoning would probably be
Here we
my
go.
second.
It's my second favorite. I've got Fallout above it, and then Rogue Nation behind it.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
I'm excited for part 2 though.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Kai.
Whatever it's called, because they'll probably drop the part 1 of this actual title they've got at the moment. But yeah.
Kai, what have you got? Number 5. This is the list I'm excited for.
In 5th place, I have Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse.
We all probably have
nice.
that in our top 5.
I feel I'm gonna leave you guys to talk about it because I definitely wasn't like I love that movie. I think it's really, really good, but you guys definitely love it a lot more than I do. I have only seen it the one time, which was when we like all saw it at the screening. Yeah, good, really good movie. I'll let you guys talk about it when it appears at number 1 in your list.
Well, I just remember when we were done watching, and I was like, "This, I've just witnessed something beautiful here." And I looked at you, Kai, and you were like, "Yeah, it was really good.
It was all right." Yeah.
But yeah, I'm sure we'll get to that later.
Yeah, undoubtedly.
Okay, my number 4. I'm sure will show up on someone else's list, but I've got Past Lives in my number 4.
My number 4 as well.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Like I said, this year I've really fallen in love with the romance genre. Different kinds, different tropes. It's made me want to make one. But Past Lives I watched twice, and it honestly got better on rewatch. I think it's probably my favorite actual screenplay. Like I think it might be my favorite script. It makes you think a lot. It makes you feel a lot, and I can't really ask for more from a romance film, I guess. And especially when the romance is so interesting because it's not really the main story, I guess. I don't know. The concept of Inyon is sort of the main thing, and I really like that. But John Magaro as well in the supporting actor role is one of my favorite supporting roles of the year. I think all 3 of our leads do really well. But yeah, Past Lives is such a beautiful movie. Looks beautiful, an incredible score. One of my favorite endings to a film this year. And yeah, I live by Inyon now. I'm waiting for someone with my level of Inyon. But yeah, what does Adi think on it?
It's my 4th as well. It's such a beautiful film. It's got like the same level of, I guess it's got like the same kind of vibe as like After Sun in like it's a very real film. It's very like beautifully done. It's telling like an actual story, which is sort of like romance in a way, but it's not the typical romance where the 2 characters fall in love and they live happily ever after. It's got that subversion, and it's got the whole coming to terms with the fact that like things don't always go as planned. Like although the stars seem to line up like a lot of times, maybe it's not meant to be. And that's the kind of, if I was to write a romance, the kind of thing I would want to do, where it's sort of like coming to terms with the fact that you've lost someone rather than falling in love and they live happily ever after sort of thing.
Yeah.
I think that's the best way to do it.
Also, a quick shout out Greta Lee. I really hope she gets an Oscar nomination. I really adore Greta Lee in this movie. Also, Celine's song directing. I'd love to see her get one as well. For a debut, it's brilliant. But Harvey, what have you got in your 4?
My 4 is John Wick Chapter 4.
Okay, nice.
Connor already mentioned it, but a few things that I would also like to highlight is just how absolutely gorgeous it is, and like it's probably one of the best looking films of the year. You've got every time I think about it, I always think of like the Japanese scenes when they're in Japan, and like all of the fighting that went down there. Donnie Yen as Kane.
Donnie Yen is so
absolutely amazing. Absolutely loved his character. Even Bill Skarsgård as the villain as well, or the main villain. Just great. Good movie.
Yeah. That was my 6. It was very close. Like it could be that. I need to watch it again.
It's also my 6.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm excited to hear your top 4, Kai. What have you got for?
I just want to say sorry about John Wick. Yes, my number 6, but it was also the first movie I saw in IMAX, which I think is like.
Yeah.
Well, I'm confused actually. It's either John Wick or it was the Super Mario Bros. Movie. I'm hoping it's John Wick.
Does Super Mario Bros. Movie have IMAX?
John Wick came out
because I watched. Okay, cool. Then I also watched that in IMAX. That's not in my top 4. But on the subject of animation, continuing that theme because 5 was animated, I have Suzume in number 4.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
I rate that.
That is a movie I had no idea existed until you guys mentioned it on the podcast. What have you done? Why are you laughing?
I realised what your number 1 spot's going to be because
I don't want to think about it. I want to wait.
It's just past mine.
Yes. So Suzume didn't know it existed until you guys spoke about it on the podcast. I went to watch it for the podcast, and I fell in love with it. And I've only seen it the once. Like all of these movies in my top five. Actually, that's a lie. One of them I've seen twice. But I feel like that came out in like what, April time ish, and I've not
Yeah, I
really
think
stopped
so.
thinking about
Yeah.
it. It's a really good movie. It's one that's kind of stuck with me, and I like the little chair.
The chair's
Um,
amazing.
the only sort of like slight negative I can think about it is I remember the third act feeling quite dragged. It was quite a long movie. But it's my first like anime style thing that I've watched, and I absolutely fell in love with it. And I really want to watch Your Name because obviously that's the same guy.
Very good
So,
movie. Yeah.
but yeah, Suzume number 4.
Really good. I like that a lot. Bit of rep for Suzume. This is where we get interesting now. Top 3. See, I think this is quite controversial, me having it 3, but I know it's not on any of your lists, and that's Oppenheimer. So, like,
Yeah.
this is where I want a discussion about Oppenheimer. I don't just want me praising it because I want to hear your thoughts.
I'm
It
the
is-
only one that hasn't seen it here, by the way. So
It is on
I'll
my
just-
list.
I'll sit back.
Is
I
it-
rated
is it
it
in-
4 stars.
Man.
It's on my list.
I want to hear Connor mostly because I saw your little Instagram story.
Yeah, okay. I think I enjoyed it, but I knew it wasn't going to be a film for me. Like I struggle with slow burners. I need to be very stimulated, which is why I think like the films that are higher up on my list are higher up on my list, and why I think I like animation so much because it's a very slow burner. It's a lot of like people speaking about stuff. I have no clue what they're talking about, like talking about like astrophysics and stuff. That might not have even been what they're talking about, but like they're talking about like electrons and like I didn't care about science, so I don't know anything about it. But then they'll do stuff like that, and then there'll be like these interesting character developments with like Oppenheimer's relationships, and then also having obviously the scene that everyone talks about, the actual bomb scene, which is great. It's a phenomenally written scene, very stressful. But the thing I like the most about that film is after that. It's just the before it is so slow for me, but I was very captivated watching it. I couldn't stop, if that makes sense. It's just I liked his regret. That was the thing I liked the most.
Yeah. No, I understand that. And I guess it'll be interesting when you watch Killers of the Flower Moon then, because that's also quite a heavy dialogue
Yeah,
film.
that's why I've put it off for so long.
It also made me laugh when Harvey was talking about Mission Impossible and saying how he was like the most stressed he's ever been watching a movie was whatever that scene was. And the whole time you were saying that, I was sat here thinking, you didn't watch Oppenheimer, did you?
No, I didn't. No, I didn't.
Yeah. For me, it's very close to second and very close to a 5-star. I think on rewatch it could move. I'll rewatch it probably in March before the Oscars when they start showing everything again in cinemas. But I'm a big Nolan guy. I always have been. I love so many of his films, so I knew I would like this. The cast is exceptional, and this year I feel like I've changed a bit in what I like because I think dialogue-heavy films, when done right, are some of my favorites as well. And everything in the courtroom, especially, I adored. And the interrogation bits, he's Jason Clarke. He's not one of like the bigger characters in the film, but he does all the interrogations in that little room with Oppenheimer and his wife and stuff, all that stuff near the end. And I think he's brilliant in there. And the film is just very stressful. And again, if it makes you feel something, then they've done it right. And I think Oppenheimer did that. And the bomb sequence is, of course, done so well and stress-inducing, anxiety-inducing. It's everything. But even just the way things look and like the costume design, set design, I don't think there's much better than it. But yeah, big Oppenheimer
Fair
fan.
enough.
And again, I think Cillian Murphy probably gives my favorite male acting performance as far as leads go. But again, I've not seen The Holdovers, which people are praising for Paul Giamatti, which is a film they should have released in the UK because it's a Christmas film and it's coming out in like late Jan. So
it's such a bad
Ridiculous.
decision.
yeah. Also, Robert Downey Jr. I think could take home Best Supporting. I'm interested in it. But Kai, you mentioned
I wouldn't
have
say
Oppenheimer.
that, but I know I haven't seen Oppenheimer, but I wouldn't say he's going to get it. I think he's going to get snubbed. I do. But that's the
By
story
who,
for
Ryan
another day.
Gosling?
Never mind. No, Charles Melton from.
I
May
really like
December.
Charles Melton, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like Charles Melton. I don't think he would be there over Robert Downey for me, but I like him. But Kai,
Anyway,
have you got Oppenheimer
I
next?
butted in there.
What was the question?
Kai,
What have I done?
have you got Oppenheimer in your list next?
It's not on my list next, but it's on my
Oh,
list.
okay. Well, we'll go to Harvey then for his number three.
Okay, my number three is Past Lives. Again,
Nice,
it's
nice.
really annoying because every time I go to speak about a film, it's already been talked about. No, but yeah, it's just a good movie. When I think about it, I think about when we went to watch, ironically, not Past Lives, but You Hurt My Feelings, and we were at
Okay, yeah.
the announcement for Celine
Mhm.
Song winning whatever award she won at that
It
event
was
there.
like the
That was
best
quite
film
cool.
at Sundance.
And then we went live on TikTok, and Josiah got his clip of him in the background of with her there. It's just cool. I just wanted to bring
That
that
was a
up.
good
There you
live
go.
stream.
It was.
Yeah, I wanted a picture, but after she got her award, she just sort of left. Well, she did some like pro pictures. So we thought live streaming it would be the best shot of getting her in it.
Yeah.
All right, Kai, let's hear it. Number three.
Most underrated movie ever, Tetris.
Oh my god.
I thought that was number one. I was
No,
expecting
I
number
switched
one.
it. I can't keep it at number one. Like I love that movie. I love Tetris so much. I honestly think if it wasn't an Apple TV Plus release, I think it would have got a lot more hype because I think as a movie, like so well made. Like, oh my God, the editing in that movie is brilliant. I really liked the story. I like the style of it. The music choices are great.
Yeah, score's amazing.
It's so good. I love that it leans into the like 70s, 80s vibe that the movie has in the way that it's edited. I think Taron Egerton is his name. I think he's
Yeah.
brilliant in that movie. The whole like Russia sequence, the whole like when you explain what Tetris is about, which is the acquisition of Tetris, sounds boring as anything, but they make it such a fun movie, so good, so well made. I love it so very much, and I wish more people had seen it. But I guess that is just the issue with releasing things on a streaming service that no one has. So
Yeah, Tetris is a funny one because like I feel like I'm higher on it the most, and it's only 28th on my list. But I still have it 4 stars.
I actually
and I still
also
think it's
have
great.
it 28th, funnily enough.
Oh, really?
That's quite
It's
funny.
4 from mine at the minute, but that's from July. So
But this year, the likes of like Tetris, Air, Blackberry, I think there've been some really good
I think it
biopic
just
type
depends
stories
on what
like that.
you like as well. Like I used to play
Mm.
Tetris a lot when I was a kid, so like I have that connection to it. I really liked the fast-paced style of it. I think I remember when it came out, I was very much at a point where I was sick of the 3-hour movie. Like every movie seemed to be coming out and was being was so long, and I was watching loads of long movies. So when I got like a 90-minute, very quickly like da 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 da, I was like, brilliant! This is the best thing I've ever seen. But I do, yeah, I think it's a very clever movie and very very well done.
Yeah, nice. Connor, I realized I don't think you gave your number three.
no, my number three is Spider-Verse, which, yeah, understandable why it's in the top five. But I also agree. I also not agree. I also think that the Into the Spider-Verse is better than Across.
I agree.
So that's
Okay.
it says a lot about the quality of the franchise that the worst out of the two is still in my top three of the year. Like
Yeah.
the animation's great, the everything's great. I feel like the cliffhanger really just I felt incomplete in a way that there was a lot of talking about the Spider-Verse and how it works in the film. And then when they're like, okay, we're now going to see it, and then the film ends, and it's like, oh, okay. Like we do see the Spider-Verse in the film, and there's all the different Spider-Man and whatever. But with like where it felt like we're about to get the main final climax of the film ended, and then and then like on rewatch you realize, oh, the main climax is him trying to get Miles. But that feels like a halfway point in the film, which I guess is a good thing because it doesn't feel long. The film at all does not feel long. But yeah, I love animation as it is, so it's going to be on the list.
At least we get a 2-part finale now, because I'm sure after
We do.
Beyond, you'll look back more fondly on that ending of Across the
Yeah.
Spider-Verse. Because I really loved the ending of it.
I'm the only.
I'll probably watch it as one.
I wasn't fussed by the ending. Like, I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, it's such a big cliffhanger," but I didn't feel like it was a cliffhanger. Obviously, like it is a cliffhanger, but it's just kind of like, cool. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like you know they're gonna save him, obviously, like, or he's gonna save himself, but it's not like do you know when like Infinity, not to compare it because they're very different movies, but do you know when
Yeah.
Infinity War ended? You're
Yeah.
like, I don't know where we go from this point.
Mm.
Mhm.
Across the Spider-Verse ended, and I was like, oh, cool, it's set up the next one really well.
Yeah.
I was
I
like,
understand
do
that.
you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
but I really liked it. Like, yeah, I feel like the ending hit a lot more people harder than it did me. I just kind of went, oh, nice ending. And then,
Mm.
but I did feel I'm not one of those people that's like, it's an incomplete movie. Like, I don't. Not that
No.
wasn't it you, Connor. That was it. Like the people on the internet that are like, oh, it's not actually a movie, is it? It's just a setup. Like, I don't agree with that. I think that's
No,
entirely
I don't
incorrect.
agree with that either.
Yeah, I still
Yeah,
think it works
like
so
it.
well as a
Versus,
standalone.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm. All right, top twos, guys.
Top two.
This doesn't help my claims online of just being a Marvel kid because my second place is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
Same.
Same.
Same. Same.
Perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
I've watched it 3 times, I think, in the
Yeah.
first week or so, and then I'll probably rewatch it again before because that and Oppenheimer are quite close. But the film seriously hit me, and on rewatch, I think the second time I watched it was my favorite time. But the Guardians are like my favorite group of characters, and I was very nervous to watch this movie because of that. And I think it was like a perfect send off, genuinely a perfect ending. I'm glad they didn't feel the need to kill off characters. We were all expecting it, so for them not to do it and then give us that
Mhm.
beautiful Dog Days of Over ending, I think that was honestly better than if they just killed off Rocket.
Yeah.
So I was very happy with it. But stylistically, I think James Gunn's really great. He works so well for this, and I feel confident for the DCU going forward because of that. But as a Rocket story, it's brilliant. As a Guardian story, it's brilliant. Of course, the soundtrack is exceptional, and one of my favorite MCU films as well as one of my favorites of the year.
I
But I'm
agree.
glad you guys got it top two as well.
I agree. There's not much more I
Um,
can say. I agree.
no, it's a brilliant movie, and I don't particularly like Connor. You're like the biggest Guardians fan I know, so you'll have much more to say than I will. But I'm not even that massive a Guardians fan. Like I like their movies. I think Volume One's really good. I think Volume Two I'm not the biggest fan of, but three is one of the best MCU movies. It's not even just like one of the best movies of the year. Like it is, considering the amount of shite we've got from the MCU recently. Like it kind of makes me happy that we know that they can still make good things when they get the right people involved in it. And a very good conclusion to the Guardians story. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't even need to see them again. Like I'm quite
Yeah,
happy
I'm
if
content.
that's it for the Guardians. I know James Gunn is like, oh yeah, we can like, they can go off with their new team, but I don't need to see that.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I
I
don't know if
think it
that's
works how it
necessary.
ends. I think it's a peaceful ending that's like they set all off on their own separate journeys to never be seen again, and it's like, oh yeah, they're doing what they enjoy in a
Yeah,
way.
they
Like,
don't go off and die somewhere.
yeah,
They're
they got
just
their
that's
little
it.
spiritual journeys.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We
I
know
think it'll
Star-Lord's
it'll be
returning,
good
Maybe
to
that's
just
it.
see
disappear in like
them.
20 years.
Good to see them just pop up in like whatever Avengers movie is next.
Yeah.
I think that's probably the next time we need to see them. We don't need anything before that.
I don't even think they'll all be in it. I think
But
we
even
will see
then, like, yeah, I
Star-Lord
just don't.
and
Only
maybe
like
Rocket
Star.
and
Yeah, they
Groot.
did say Star Lord will return or whatever at the
Yeah,
end. So
yeah.
Mhm.
even if it's
Yeah,
just
but
him,
is
that's
it
fine.
is it Peter Quill though? This is what I'm thinking because it's the legendary Star Lord, and that makes me think they might go down like a different route with it.
Who
Yeah.
knows? That's the excitement. Who knows? Marvel just have to somehow keep us all on track. But Harvey, I want to hear your number two because you got something different.
My number two is Spider-Verse, which is a little bit different, which means
Already been
something else
said.
is obviously in the number one spot. Everything's pretty much been said about Spider-Verse. It's just great. I'm going to go different to Connor and say I actually prefer it to Into the Spider-Verse. I think it's better. Not by much, but just a little bit. And I can't even really begin to explain why. I just feel like it is. You know, when you get that feeling and you're just like, this is just, it's good. It happens with, so I have like, for example, I have like 20 films at 4 stars, but you can sort of just about tell within that 4 star
Yeah, there's still
bracket where,
scales to it.
exactly. Yeah. So like, I feel like I've got them both at 5 into and across, but I just feel like Across the Spider it's just a little bit better. I prefer the villain. It's just great. I can't wait to see what they do with Beyond. It's just going to be a great time.
Well, I think that perfectly ties us into our number one of the year. And I'll go first because we've all spoken about it. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse is my favorite film of the year.
Wow.
It's not only my favorite of the year, it might truly be my favorite of the decade. That and Everything Ever All at Once quite close for me. But there's something about this and Into the Spider-Verse. They're both two of my favorite films, both ranked so closely. But again, I watched this 3 times in like 5 days. I just wanted to keep watching it, and it's out today on Sky Cinema as well, so I'll be watching that tonight.
Oh, that's beautiful.
But there's some I know it's so good to wake up to, but from the animation styles, the multiple animation styles to this to Miles's story, Gwen's story, Peter B. Parker story, the Spot story, 2099 story. There's so much to be invested in. My favorite soundtrack of the year, I've had it on repeat.
Oh, it slaps.
I wish more than just Am I Dreaming made the shortlist for the Oscars, but I hope Am I Dreaming gets nominated.
Josiah, you've got
But yeah, there's really
Shazam! Fury of the Gods and The Mummies have also released on Sky Cinema today. Why don't you watch one of those instead?
no, thank you.
You haven't seen The
Mummies.
Mummies? I know you haven't watched that.
I've not seen The Mummies. I don't think I ever will. But yes, there's the Spider-Verse had everything, a great adventure film, action film, sci-fi. It had anything I wanted in a movie, it was there. And it's Spider-Man, like my favorite guy ever, Spider-Man.
There
That's
you
my
go.
friendly neighborhood.
Literally sat
Awesome.
right here, you dick. Wow. All right, that's fair.
Sorry. Maybe you are Spider-Man, who knows?
Who knows?
Who
That'd be weird,
knows?
wouldn't it? That's why I
But
disappeared
yeah.
for so long.
I mean, I'll put my 2 cents on the endings. I love the ending. I really do love the ending of this movie. I think mostly elevated by the score, the Prowlers theme just before, and then Gwen's little monologue before they all go. It's got me hyped up. And in that cinema that first time with everyone clapping at the end, it made me feel special. Yeah, I felt like I was involved in that film. So I loved it. I'm so excited for Beyond the Spider-Verse, probably my most anticipated film just out of any film ever.
Mhm.
Well, that hasn't been released, so I'm super excited for it. Go Spider-Man. And it's a shame it's not your first place either, guys. But I'm ready to hear them. Connor, do you want to give your first of the year?
Godzilla -1. I'm
Mm,
sorry, that film is insane. It goes so crazy. It's probably no, it's the best Godzilla film
yeah.
like today. It's so good. The story is amazing. It focuses on the people rather than, well, obviously it focuses on Godzilla, but it focuses on that fear aspect. You create a relationship between the characters so you care about them. So that there's genuine stress when these characters are in danger. And I didn't think at any moment, oh yeah, he's safe. Like, because the opening scene is so good at setting up Godzilla, because you get him basically like before the nuclear reaction's all done to him. So he's just like a prehistoric beast. Then he just becomes huge in the end. You see that fear aspect of him and how powerful he is in that opening scene makes him so much more scary in the rest of the film. And you realize that nobody is safe, that anyone could die at any moment. And that's why it's so stressful. And that's why it's so good. It's so well written. There is nothing bad I can say about that film. I loved it. I watched it, like 4 days ago. I would rewatch it now. It's
Yeah.
so good.
I think Godzilla might have potentially my favorite final act of a film this year. I think,
Yeah.
yeah, but what Godzilla films and MonsterVerse films have done poorly is the human characters and like not having an attachment to them. But you're emotionally invested
Definitely.
pretty early on in this one. Like the whole defected pilot story, it's an interesting one, and then
Yeah.
you bring the kid and the family aspect to it. And then you make Godzilla a real threat, and
Yes.
it's done so well. Godzilla just looks ridiculously good as well. And I think it's something only Japanese cinema could do. I don't think an American Godzilla film will
They
ever
don't
be
care
that
enough.
good. Yeah, truly. They just want the big money CGI fights, but this was done properly. And I
Mhm.
really love it as well. So I think it's a really good shout for first place. I'm not mad at it at all. Did anyone else watch Godzilla?
I'm
Oh, yeah.
planning to watch it after Christmas during the like 6 day where you have everything goes out the
You're
window and no one
free.
knows what day it is and stuff like that. So yeah.
Harvey, your number one of
Yes.
the year.
My number one of the year. It has been a movie that's already been said again. It's Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
Yeah,
I'm a Marvel
nice.
fanboy at heart. It's what got me into movies at the end of the day. So it was obvious that something Marvel was probably going to be top of my list because there's just been so much. There's been terrible stuff, but then there's also been a lot of good Marvel stuff this year as well. Yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. I think everyone just put in great performances. Probably, I'd say every person that was in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 put in their best performance they've done in the Guardians universe into that film. And I want to especially highlight Chukwuji Iwuji because I've probably butchered that. But he's just his performance was incredible. Like I'd go as far to potentially say that it's probably one of, if not the best villain performance of the year for me. Of the films that I've seen, obviously there's a lot that I haven't seen. I need to preface that again, but it was just special. Like and I had Spider-Verse ahead of that until a couple months ago. Then I rewatched Guardians when it went on to streaming. I was like, this has got to go first. It's just too special. I loved it so much. Yeah. That's why it's my number one.
Oh, that's nice. And Kai, round us out. This will be interesting. Your number one.
Oppenheimer.
I can't believe it.
I thought it was going to be Indiana Jones. I'm not going to lie, but
no,
Indiana Jones.
Just because he's that much of a fanboy.
No, oh wow, right. Yeah, no, it was until about 3 minutes before we started doing this list. Tetris was in my number one spot, but I just kind of gave it a quick reshuffle because I didn't agree with a lot of it.
Fair.
I think because it's so weird because last year I watched so many movies over the year, like so many new movies, and I felt like I remembered every single movie I watched. This year, I don't know if it's because I had like such a long period of time where I didn't watch any movies. I've completely blanked. So I'm looking at like my top 10 list and I'm like, I don't know if I really liked this as much as I'm saying I liked it. But Oppenheimer, I watched a month ago now, whenever it came out on like for you to buy. And my sister's boyfriend, his parents have like a massive TV, which is kind of like a cinema in like a living room that's kind of like a cinema. And I was like, I need to go there and watch Oppenheimer. So I did that. I watched it all in one go just before a shift at work, which was kind of a stupid idea, but I had a really good time. And yeah, I love that movie so very much. When I first watched it, I was like, yeah, 4-star. I really enjoyed it. And then I've not really stopped thinking about Oppenheimer for the last like 3 or 4 weeks. I bought the screenplay, so I've been reading that. I've been watching like certain scenes from it. I've been watching behind the scenes from it. Christopher Nolan, I think, is like top 3 of my directors. I think Steven Spielberg's first. I'm going to say Damien Chazelle is second, but Christopher Nolan is like a close third. So I love all his movies pretty like I'm trying to think if there's one I've seen that I don't like. I don't think there is. And Oppenheimer just adds that list. It's really good. I don't understand science, so I felt really clever when there was certain things going on, and I was like, "Oh yeah, know what he's talking about." Yeah, just like a really, really, really good movie. Like, I call it like the Lord of the Rings like thing, where you are just encapsulated by it.
Yeah.
Like when you're watching it, there's nothing else. You're just in that, and yeah, I think Oppenheimer does that for me. I do like a slow burn, and I think Cillian Murphy is fucking incredible in that movie. Like, my God, he's so good.
Shout out.
Yeah, so excited to see how it does at the Oscars. And yeah, Oppenheimer.
Good choice. Yeah, I'm glad someone had it number one, so I'm not going to get killed. But
well, I might.
Yeah, it's not even in your top 5.
Can I give like a couple of like shout outs to some
Of course,
movies
of
that
course.
Yeah, definitely.
because there's a few that I would have in my top 5. Scream 7, definitely. I love that franchise, and Scream 7 was really good.
There's 6, so I don't know about 7,
Yeah.
but Scream 6 was good, but I don't know.
Scream 6 was good, yeah.
Scream 6 is a really good movie. I love that franchise. Scream 7, sorry, is not happening because the studios being dicks. Sort that out. I'm going to give a shout out to Kindling, a movie that I think we all adored when we saw that.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say Indiana Jones is in my top 10 at the moment. Just I don't care. I liked that movie. And then Dungeons and Dragons, because that was such a fun movie, and also I had like the best time watching it. With you guys.
Yeah, I love that. Oh, good list.
Barbie's my top 10 so far. Barbie's above Oppenheimer, by the way. I just wanted to point that out.
Well, you've got
Barbie's sitting
Trolls the
above
same
Oppenheimer.
rating.
What a disaster.
I
Yeah.
can take any.
Trolls are so good. It was so good.
I've got Asteroid City in my top 10.
I still want to watch Asteroid City. I still want to watch
I
May
really
December.
enjoyed it, but then I absolutely adore Wes Anderson. I also have Talk to Me in my top 10. That's in my top 10.
Still want to
Number
watch
8.
it.
Very good. Probably best horror of the year, in my opinion.
Yeah. There are so many movies I need to catch up on, but like Harvey said at the beginning of this, like 2024 is like clean slate, and I'm kind of hoping to try and stay somewhat on top of it, because this year's been a bit of a shitter, and I've just kind of not been watching enough. So
same.
Well, everyone,
I have a draft on my TikTok. I have a draft saved. Yeah.
No way.
Crazy times. Yeah. Don't know if I'll ever upload it, but it's there. It's saved.
Christmas Day, a Christmas special from your account.
I tweeted 1st of January 2024, which I think seems appropriate for it. So maybe then.
Can we know what it is?
Sneak peek. Go on.
Not a movie video. Oh, I'll show you the opening.
Taylor
Stay there.
Swift.
It's not.
Oh,
Can you
no.
imagine? That's how I come
I would
back.
lose all hope.
You guys are in it.
Really?
Oh,
Oh,
There we
it's
go.
water.
there we go.
Water.
What?
He's the
That's
new
it.
Aquaman.
Oh,
Shit. Oh, well, you've got me. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to run, lads. But it was
it's
really
fine.
lovely talking to you, and they're gonna do a draft. I'm not gonna be here. Muppets Christmas Carol is the best Christmas movie. If none of you fuckers put it on your list, I'm not coming back. If I don't speak to you guys, have a really good Christmas, and I'll see everyone watching 1st of January, I guess. I don't really know. Are we doing one before the end of the year? Is that a plan? Are we
We'll
gonna
see.
try and?
We'll see what
Well,
happens.
if we can fit it
We're
in.
slackers. We're so bad.
We're busy. We're
so
busy
bad.
people. Okay.
We're back. We're so
Busy
back.
people. Yeah. Do you remember when we had nothing to do and we just watched
Yes.
movies and did podcasts?
I still do that.
Oh, good
Crazy.
times.
Yeah, Mr.
Right.
110
Still a child
or
though,
whatever.
Josiah.
Yeah, God. Right. Lovely to see you guys.
All right. Bye,
Bye.
Kai.
Bye.
See you later.
Well, that's spoiled by Kai. Yes, we are doing a Christmas movie draft.
Way.
But before we do that, do you guys want to do like quick one-word stuff? Like I can ask you for a disappointing movie of the year or
Go
Sure,
on.
yeah,
underrated
I'm down.
one.
I'm down. Yeah.
No explanation. Just
Yeah,
say the
I just
film.
want a film. Okay,
Okay.
just off the top of my head, and we'll start with most underrated. Kai was Tetris. What is your most underrated film of the year?
I think we know what mine is.
Don't say Trolls.
Trolls band together. It slaps. It slaps. You just don't get it.
I have not seen it, so I can't comment.
Exactly. Those
But
who
I have
get it,
the
get it, and those
bucket
who
hat
don't get
for it, and I went
I
to the
know.
album launch.
That's the
That's
coolest
all I
hat
needed.
ever. That is
Yeah, it's
your
so
best
cool.
piece of fashion right there.
It
I
actually
know,
is.
it's so cool. I'll
Um,
steal it one day.
my underrated is my number 13 of the year. No Hard Feelings.
Okay.
Jennifer Lawrence is my favorite actress.
Fair enough.
Love the rom-com genre. I think people like it, but no one has it like where I have it in my yearly rankings. So that for that reason, it would be my most underrated. Harvey.
Nice. Yeah. I'm gonna go with Nimona. I think that's incredibly underrated because
interesting.
it's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
Netflix
That's
original.
great.
That's probably
Yeah.
one of the best Netflix films of this year. Disney fumbled the
Realistically,
bag
you're
with that.
probably
They
right.
could have had that all for themselves. They sold it to Netflix, and Netflix is reaping the rewards. It's a great movie. I loved it so much.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah, realistically, you're probably right. That probably is the most underrated. Like, as much as Trolls is a banger, it's like it's kind of like a meme underrated pick where it's sort of like I enjoyed it, but I know it's not a good film.
Mm.
Yeah.
I just had a really good time watching it.
Yeah.
So
All right.
Right. On the other end of the scale, the most disappointing movie of the year.
oh my god.
I can go because I've got like three.
Okay, I've got one as well.
Napoleon is one of mine.
Yeah.
The
Okay,
Creator
yeah.
is one of mine, and
Mhm.
probably 65 would be my other one.
Yeah,
I'm
cool.
so excited for Creator, man. The trailer looked so good. All right, Connor.
I don't know if mine's fair to say. Can I say Oppenheimer? Because it was hyped up so
Ooh.
much.
If it's your opinion, then
because-
I'm not going to stop you.
You
But
can say
just-
it.
Yeah,
Just
because
wait for the
it was
hate.
hyped up so much, and it's not really my type of movie. That's why I
fair
was
enough.
disappointed with it because everyone loved it, and I wasn't as much of a fan, even though I did really enjoy it. So, like me saying this isn't me going, "I hate Oppenheimer." It's just me being like, it's not as good as I expected it would be, considering how everyone else responded to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Harvey.
Yeah.
Quantumania,
Saved myself.
Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Oh
Quantumania.
yeah, that's
Oh.
definitely up there
Uh,
as well. Actually.
That film, I was so excited for. I'm so let down by that. It's now completely been made redundant by recent news surrounding Jonathan Majors. There is now no reason to watch that movie, unfortunately, which it's heartbreaking because Ant-Man is probably top 3 of my favorite characters in the MCU. So yeah, probably that's probably my pick.
You know what? I can give you a second one because if you don't accept Oppenheimer, Asteroid City, I gave it 2.5.
I'm
Don't be
happy with
doing
that as well.
that.
Actually.
No.
It's like in my bottom 2 or 3 Wes Anderson, and I'm a huge Wes
Oh, yeah.
Anderson guy.
Oh,
I'm sorry, Harvey.
Or The Flash.
Yeah, there's a
Yeah,
lot.
There's so
quite a lot
many.
at
There's
this
so
point.
many
there's
disappointing
lots.
films
There is
this
lots.
year.
Well, let's switch it again. The biggest surprise, a movie that just sort of came out of nowhere.
I got it.
Oh, let's hear it then.
I've lost what it is called. Joyride. Joyride.
Okay.
Yeah, I was
Joyride's a lot
from
of
the
fun.
trailer. It looked awful, and me and Brandon watched the early screening of it. It slapped. It was actually great. I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
Yeah, I went to the same thing but the Cineworld version with my mum. I don't know if that's a film you watch with your mother, but
No, probably not.
I've also watched like Beau is Afraid with her and stuff. Yeah, it's interesting stuff. My biggest surprise would be either How to Have Sex, which is probably just missing out on my top 10 of the year. Very important movie. And Are You There, God, It's Me, Margaret. That would be my other
Yes.
one.
Yeah,
Because
that's
it shouldn't have
another
been a
good one,
film
yeah.
I loved, but I really loved Are You There, God, It's Me, Margaret. And Rachel McAdams should get nominated for Best Supporting Actress. She's brilliant. But
Damn.
yeah, those would be my two picks.
Nice.
Harvey?
I'm gonna say one that I mentioned earlier. I'm gonna throw in Talk to Me. That movie for me came
that's
out of
such a-
nowhere. I didn't really hear anything about it until like a week beforehand when I saw Raka Raka talking about it, being like, "Oh yeah, we've made a movie. Here it is." And then I went to the Odeon secret screening, watched it, fell in love. Great movie, underrated as hell. It's just it ticks all the
Yeah.
boxes.
Definitely like
Yeah.
probably my second favorite horror of the year behind Scream 6, maybe because I'm more of a slasher guy. But yeah, really good pick. And we'll end with favorite scene of the year or favorite moment in a film.
Oh gosh,
I won't say the Godzilla one because that's too obvious. The Godzilla one.
I think
there
I've
are
got
so
one.
many, man.
I think I've got one. It's not my. I wouldn't say it's definitely my favorite, but it's definitely up there. I'm gonna go with the Super Mario Bros. Movie when they had the fight between Mario and DK, and they played the DK rap behind it. I think that's probably that gave my inner child like
That's
it
so
was
silly, I love
the
it.
best thing I've ever seen in my life.
Okay, I got one.
What's yours, Connor?
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. The
No Diggity.
No Diggity scene.
Oh, that's so good.
That's
That was
good
great.
scene. Very good scene.
Yeah, that was great.
I love TMNT as well. That was a really good pick. For me, it's the Guardians 3 ending. Dog Days Are Over. That is my favorite scene of the
obvious
year.
pick.
Ingrained.
It
in
is
my
obvious,
mind,
it is. But that's probably my favorite. I'm trying to think what else could be there. I really like the John Wick, lots of the fight scenes in John Wick, but I think the stairway one's really funny.
Yes.
Where it's
That
just
would be
tumbling
there.
for like an hour.
Yeah, pretty much. And then like I don't know, a bunch of stuff from past lives probably. But yeah, the Dog Days Are Over would be my favorite scene. Wow. Any other ones you want to throw out? Just any well, I don't know what the word
Most
is.
mid
Just-
film. Most mid.
Most okay, the most middle of the mid films. Oh, I've
Yeah.
seen a lot that could be there.
Blue Beetle.
I didn't even watch it.
I would have it a little
didn't watch
higher. I would say potentially Wish,
it. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
because I don't think there's anything great about Wish, but there's nothing I found offensively bad about Wish.
Yeah, nice. I have 3 picks. Just briefly. I've got Plane, aggressively
Yeah.
mid. Even in its
Yeah.
title, it's mid.
I kind of liked playing.
You've got I didn't mind
sequel.
it, but like when we're thinking about mid, it's probably up there.
Yeah.
Knock at the Cabin is incredibly mid in
No,
my opinion.
I like
I
Knock at the
think that
Cabin.
is one of the most.
No, that was mid.
No, I'm a Knock at the Cabin fan here.
I think
I don't
it's
even like
just
him like that
one
much.
of the most forgettable movies this year, so that's why it's mid. And then I'm also and I don't want to say it, but it kind of is. I'm gonna throw in Leo. I did watch it, and
That's
there was
generous
some
calling it mid.
there
No,
are
that was
some
bad.
points which I actually really enjoyed. I have it above Shazam, Knock at the Cabin, Trolls 3.
Have it above Knock at the Cabin.
Yeah.
You're telling me you'd rather rewatch Leo than Knock at the Cabin?
I
Like,
would.
Knock at the
because
Cabin's not
it
great.
actually
but
had
No, Knock at
some
the Cabin's a
decent
good
moments.
movie.
Good messaging behind it. I actually don't hate Adam Sandler, unlike Connor. I thought
do.
it
Yeah,
was
I
there was
like Adam
actually
Sandler.
some like very rare, but there were a few funny moments which just saved it from being awful and put it into the mid category.
Come on, Dave Bautista, man, gives a performance of a lifetime in Knock at the Cabin. What a guy. But I actually do have a few more mids. Leave the World Behind, a fairly recent Netflix one. The Pale Blue Eye, which I think was the first new release I watched, maybe.
Yeah.
Renfield.
Oh,
But those would be mine.
yeah.
Renfield.
Anything else anymore?
I
still
think we've
annoyed.
covered most of it.
But I'm excited to see how many you guys watch next year.
More
I
than
want to
this
get.
year.
I want to try and be because 2022 I was just shy of 100.
Yeah.
I want to try and hit that mark next year.
Oh, I've done much better this year. I'm on 108. I'll probably have more by the end of the year. And of course, we've still got like Poor Things, The Holdovers, Priscilla.
Yeah.
I hate
Zone
that
of
they have to
Interest.
be
We got
thrown into 2023 as well. I want to put
The
them on my
Iron
2024
Claw.
list, but
Yeah,
I'm
we
not
got
going to.
so many good films
Oh,
still.
there's so much good stuff.
So I'm sure my top 10 will look
Not
very
fair.
different come the Oscars.
Same.
Because that's when I'll probably do another video giving an updated list, but I'll have to
Mhm.
post one soon. But anyway, Christmas draft without Kai.
Woohoo!
Will we honor his wish of Muppets Christmas Carol? I'm sure we will.
Obviously, yeah, I'm pretty sure at least one of us is going to put it in there.
As far as an order goes, I haven't thought. So since Harvey, you did arrive with a Christmas jumper, which inspired me. I think you can pick your spot because you were the most festive, and
Wow,
then
so I
I
get
can
last
pick, and
pick?
Connor gets
Okay,
last pick. That's what I was gonna-
no, I'll take third. I'll take third.
Ooh, I'll take second. I'll let Connor go first.
Yay!
I think in a three-person draft is not too bad.
But then I get
Right.
the first pick out of everything,
Every
Yeah.
Christmas movie ever.
and that's like,
And if we don't think it's a Christmas movie, we'll have a little debate about it.
what
But
path am I going to go? Okay, okay, what path am I going to go? I'll go with Elf.
nice pick. I love Elf. I'm cool with that.
First
Yeah.
pick. That's okay.
Well, I don't know what else to go with. Like, it's
Are you
such
writing these
like a
down, Josiah?
broad
No,
scheme of
I'm not,
things.
If
but
you
I should
can,
be.
just so we
Um,
have.
I can do it if you want.
I haven't
got
got any
my-
pay from me right now.
Sorry,
Oh.
I've got my notes up.
Oh yeah, I could have just done that.
I've already realised that this is going to get hard when it gets down to like
Elf.
fourth pick and fifth pick because I don't really watch many
Yeah.
Christmas movies.
That's why I'm sort of glad
I watch
Kai-
like the
Kai
sa- I
dipped.
watch the same five and that's it.
Yeah, Elf's actually in my top three, maybe four. So like, I'm cool with that pick. My number one, my number one and two swap all the time, and I'm gonna do a late curveball on myself, and I am gonna pick Muppets Christmas Carol as my number one
Wow. Okay.
in a last minute switch up. But
Mhm.
again, I say it's a great story told better with Muppets. The music's great. It's the
I
most
kind of
festive
do wish
film.
I picked that.
It's the one I watch on Christmas Day every year.
Hmm.
So I think it's fitting to be number one.
Nice. Okay, for my first pick, I'm taking Home Alone. I think it's as much as I have some difference with it, like it's not, I wouldn't say it's my favorite, but it's definitely one which everybody has watched at least once. They know, I don't hear anyone say they hate this movie. So
Yeah.
I think it's a solid first round pick, and I'm going to take that.
Hey, I love Home Alone. I think it's a great
Fair
pick.
enough.
You get another one as
I
well.
think it's decent,
Yeah.
but I don't know if it's like great.
My second pick in that case, I will go for How the Grinch Stole Christmas, Jim Carrey's
Yeah,
2000
that would have
classic.
been my second.
That is my second pick.
All films that are on my list. Good picks. Well, here we go. Let's say this then. I'm going Die Hard as my next pick.
What
Since
an
it is
awful
Good thing
pick.
Kai's
a
not here.
Christmas movie. What
He would be
an awful
roasting
pick did I
you
just
right
hear
now.
from
But
Connor?
the second pick, you picked Die
Yes.
Hard, a film
It's
that
a-
most people question is a Christmas movie,
Yes.
which I agree it is a Christmas movie.
Thank you.
But the fact that like people disagree with it, I don't know if that's a great second pick.
It's a risky
Well, good
one.
thing is, I think if you get past the barrier and you get past your blindness, if you don't think it is, as a movie, it is probably the best one there. Or no, maybe still Muppets Christmas
It
Carol.
is just a solid movie in general, though. So
It's one of
like,
my all-time favorite action films, just in general. I
Mm.
think it's so good. So I think it's a great pick. I think it is, and I think most people will these days consider it a Christmas film. So I like it. Those were my top two as well, so I'm more than happy right now with that.
yeah.
Okay, this might not be a great two, but I'm going to go with the Polar Express next, which personally isn't one of my favorites, but it is very loved.
I have that like a
Oh,
2-star. I
dear.
really don't like Polar
Oh,
Express.
I
my
really
lord.
don't like the Polar Express.
Why have you
either, but
picked it then?
very loved because it's very
Connor,
loved.
It's not going to get you votes. I don't think
It's
many
not
people. I
loved.
think
It's just
lot
a
of people-
trend because people look like
Yeah.
the characters on TikTok. It's
Oh,
not.
great. Oh well, we got the Polar Express second and Love Actually third.
Okay, I
Good
don't mind
pick.
that.
Very, very good pick. I'm a bit annoyed that I didn't get that, but I had to prioritize others.
Well, there's a film I thought you
I haven't got a
would
list.
take.
I'm just scrolling through some random Christmas thing on Letterboxd.
Same.
Just finding them.
You guys told me a film to watch last Christmas, and I hate it. Well, I didn't hate it, but I had a bad experience with it. And I
So
thought
good.
you guys were saying it was your favorite,
So
so I'm
good.
excited to see if you pick it later. Is it me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to go for a British classic in Nativity.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
I rate it. That's a good pick.
Brilliant music.
Mm.
Martin Freeman is hilarious in it. Of course, Mr. Poppy is iconic. Bob, all the kids. She's the brightest star. Like, I love that film, man.
Great final
And-
act. I did like it.
Oh, the final act is so good. The actual nativity play is great.
Yeah.
So yeah, that would be my next pick.
Nice.
Okay.
Go on, Harvey.
Is it back to me? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. For my third pick, I am going to choose. I'm going to choose Klaus,
Okay.
Oh, good pick.
the
It was in my
Netflix
50.
animated movie. I think that's
Yeah,
a
good
very,
pick.
very, very underrated Christmas movie. And I've got to take it. I'll take The Nightmare Before Christmas. It's controversial whether it is or isn't, but I think it's a Christmas
I'm more than
movie.
happy for
I
you to
really
take
like it. I think it's a great film. And it would have been rude of me not to pick that one.
I've never been too fussed on it, but I understand its love. This one might annoy people that it hasn't been picked online because I know a lot of people have it as their favorite, but I'm going Home Alone 2,
Yeah, I was waiting for it.
Lost in New York. People will see fourth pick and not understand, but Home Alone 2, Lost in New York is brilliant, and I think it pushes the first very closely. Again, on TikTok, I
Definitely.
see so many people have it as their favorite these days. I
Mm.
still would prefer the first one, but I really love Home Alone 2, so I'm really happy with my
The only
list
thing
so
I
far.
have a gripe about that film is that he's not home alone. He's just at a hotel.
Yeah, but he's lost in New York, bless him. The world is oyster, you know, everything's his home.
Sure.
So big up Kevin and Donald Trump. Okay. Connor, your final two.
Well, I'm obviously going to pick The Holiday
Yeah.
because
Ooh,
I love The Holiday. It's so good.
worst experience
You
watching
know,
a
I
movie in
once
my life.
watched that in August.
Oh, that's just
It's
strange.
such a good film. It's because you're Jack Black. That's why, isn't it?
It is.
Now for my last one, I don't actually know what to pick. I don't. I really want to say it, but I don't know if it's a good choice or if it's like an awful choice. So
I
I'm
think I
not
know
going
what
to
you...
say that because
I have a
it's such
feeling
a
I
bad
know.
choice.
I feel like I know what you were going to say. If you don't, I'm going to be surprised.
I'll say it at the end when
I want to hear what it is.
nobody says it because it's obvious that no one will say it.
Yeah.
But actually, just don't have a last film. Should I just go for that one because I have nothing else
Do
that's
it.
like worth saying? All right. No,
Oh.
It's a Wonderful
No,
Life.
that's my next
Oh,
pick.
that's what I thought you were going to say. I thought you were going to say It's a Wonderful Life.
Oh, that was my next pick.
No.
I thought it was a lock.
Ah.
What were you gonna say then?
I'll tell you after.
Okay,
Actually, no one will say it. Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday
Okay,
Special.
that's what I
Okay.
thought it was. That's what I thought you were
I
thinking.
didn't even think of
I
that.
can't believe
And
you
then
took
I
It's a
was like,
Wonderful Life. Have you got another one? Sorry, or was that five?
oh, that's my fifth. I'm pretty
Oh,
sure.
I thought I
Yeah.
had it. Thought you forgot about it. I'm gonna go for Arthur Christmas.
Oh, what a banger.
Good pick.
I
What
think it's a really
banger.
fun movie.
No, that's a
I would
very
have
good
had It's a
pick.
Wonderful Life, but like Arthur Christmas is, I'm happy to substitute that in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's a really solid pick.
Harvey, your last choice.
Final choice. Okay, so I've got to pull something out of the bag here. I'm torn between two. There's only one which I actually have seen parts of.
Oh.
So I feel like I have to pick that one, but then again, I know one which I definitely want to say because it might just win me
Say
the
which one you
draft.
want.
Okay, I am going to
Say them
say
out loud. It doesn't matter. We can't make any more picks. After
okay,
this.
yeah,
Just say
that's
the
true.
two that are.
It's between A Charlie Brown Christmas
Okay.
or National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
One of
It's
those
one of
two
those
are on my
two.
list.
What is that?
And I'm
A good movie, that's what it is.
And I think personally, I think personally, I will pick A Charlie Brown Christmas for me.
What is the second option? I have never heard of it in my entire
That's
life.
the
seen
one
it.
that's the one that I hadn't ever watched. I know it's a very popular one though.
It's a good movie. It's a loved Christmas film.
Mm.
But
Big in America.
add it to your Christmas watches. Should I read out the four that weren't selected on my list? I had a
Yes.
list
Yeah,
of
go on.
15. The Santa Claus, Tim Allen's The Santa Claus.
I was close to saying
I
that.
really like that movie. Christmas Vacation, A Christmas Story, which is another
Yeah.
classic, and Violent Night. Shout out Violent Night, slotting in If I
Why
Needed It
didn't you
last
say
pick.
Violent Night?
It was 15th. That was the last resort. I'm just annoyed. I thought I could have got It's a Wonderful Life.
Mm.
I should have picked
There
you
we go.
earlier.
Sorry, Josiah.
Connor, run the list.
Do you want to
back.
read out the list?
All right, so run them back. Starting with me, I've picked Elf, The Polar Express, Love Actually, The Holiday, and It's a Wonderful Life.
Okay.
Josiah, you have got Muppets Christmas Carol, Die Hard, Nativity, Home Alone 2, and Arthur Christmas.
Solid.
I like that.
And Harvey, you have got Home Alone, the original Grinch, Well, not the original, but you know what I mean.
I know what
The
you mean, yeah.
live action Grinch, Klaus, Nightmare Before Christmas, and Charlie Brown's Christmas.
Nice.
This will be interesting.
Some good drafts. I think Connor's in the bin.
Yep.
Why am I in the bin?
Wait, punishment movie. Oh my gosh, we should bring that back.
Oh
Oh,
no.
think of an awful Christmas film. Is there like a
Um,
really bad Christmas film?
Silent Night again.
I watched Silent Night today. So I think Silent Night would be a good one.
I don't know any bad ones.
It's like an action one, right?
Yeah.
You can just try and find like the most generic film ever.
Have you seen Home Alone 4?
No.
Home Alone 4
No.
could be a good. Oh,
I
actually,
haven't seen anything past 2.
No, the punishment movie I've decided is Home Sweet Home Alone, which is
I think Connor's watched that.
which is the fifth Home Alone.
Is that the Disney
Connor,
Plus
have you seen
one?
it? Okay, Connor
Alright,
can have
yeah.
Connor can have Silent Night, and we can have Home Sweet Home Alone.
Fine. Yeah. Cool.
If Connor
Okay.
loses. All right. Well, everyone get voting for our Christmas draft. They're back. Hopefully, in the new year, you'll see us a bit more consistently. But it's been a pleasure talking films with you boys. Thank you for
Likewise.
joining me, and thank you everyone for watching, listening. Please subscribe, drop us a 5-star rating, do all that good stuff. We'll try and do more stuff for you.
Hopefully.
But we've been the Unoriginal Screenplay. Peace.
Goodbye.
Have a good Christmas.
Yeah, Christmas.